everyone, and welcome to another episode of Christyn's Crochet Corner. I would like to welcome all our newest crochet, knit, loom knitters, everything, all y'all's yarnivores. I'd like to welcome all the newbies to our channel. If you do not know so much about our channel and you kind of want to get the juiciest, the meatiest part of our channel, I would like to direct you to episode 1, and I believe it's episode 10 non-yarny things about me, just so you can get to know a little bit more about myself and a little bit more about our channel. And I would also like to thank you for subscribing, for taking the time to watch the videos, and for supporting this channel. This channel is based on love and supporting others. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your support. To all our returning subbies, thank you so much for continuing to take the time out of your busy life to come and watch these videos and comment and like, and just thank you so much. It really does warm my heart. It really does mean a lot, not only to me, but to my husband and my brother and to all of my tech support, because there's a lot that goes on in the background that y'all don't see, that my family really helps me out with a lot, like my dad and my mom and my husband and my brother. They all help me so much with these videos. So big shout out to my family and big shout out to my YouTube crochet family. I love you all. We start every single episode with a reminder to subscribe. Press that red button, you guys. Click, click, click on that red button. Subscribe. Also comment. If you don't know what to comment, I really would like to hear from y'all about where you're from, what you do. Comment, like, not your job, but if you crochet, if you knit, if you do both, if you Cricut, whatever you do, comment, leave me a little comment on the bottom. And also give me a thumbs up. Please like me, please like these videos and share. It's so important to share these videos with everyone that we know. Just because our show isn't just based on crochet, it's also based on love and support and just helping one another. And we kind of want to spread the love, spread the crochet love, the yarn love around, just so that everybody's feeling in unity with each other. With so much hate and anger in the world, I feel like when we have one thing in common, we really need to press down on that one thing and make it bloom and grow so that it's not such a dark and ugly world out there. We have a few changes to the show. I had said that I wanted to get out of the corner, so today we're gonna tour my craft room. Now, it's not, I don't want to make it seem like it's this huge craft room that's like filled to the brims. No, it's my bedroom. So it's like a craft room and my bedroom as well. So because I have a house full of kids, I don't have a spare bedroom to put all my kind of craftiness into. So my husband made it available to where I can, he kind of transformed our bedroom into a craft room, my husband and I. So that's going to be the basis of our show. But before we jump into that, I have a few things that I wanted to talk to y'all about. So obviously something is different here. Yes, I cut off all my hair. It's gone. So I was talking about my hair to my husband and I didn't want to cut it. My hair was like past my butt. It was very, very long and it was very hard to take care of, and it wasn't really a big deal. But I had saw this commercial, a St. Jude's commercial on Facebook, and it kind of touched my heart how a lot of those children were going without hair. I am a mother, so any child with any form of sickness, it doesn't matter, will always touch my heart because, of course, I think of that person's mother and what they're going through. So I wanted to share a piece of myself. So I donated 18 inches of my hair. It was 19 inches, but 18 inches braided to Locks of Love so that they can make a special little child a wig so that they themselves can feel beautiful and love themselves a little bit more, because I know when you're going through something hard and it doesn't just take a toll on you physically, it takes a toll on you mentally and spiritually. So I wanted to do something that would go past a physical giving, that it's like more an inner giving, So I figured if I made somebody feel confident and beautiful on the outside, that it would kind of open up their inside a little bit and help them just that much more. And if I knew the cure, if I could give all this billions and billions of money, I would. But this is just my small way of helping, and it may not be much, but I'm so happy with the contribution that I can give. So I do encourage you that if you can give hair or money or anything, no matter how small, how big it is, any help is a help. So not only to St. Jude, but to a friend, to a loved one, to a stranger. We have to spread the love, especially in a world so dark and so ugly. So please go out and do something kind for one another. I did not do a video last week because last week was, oh my gosh, it was a little bit crazy, guys. Not a little bit is an understatement. So just to recap of my last week I was going to do my show. I started getting really sick. My eyes are giving me a lot of trouble. I feel like I have pins and needles in my eyes, and I get really bad head pains right here on the sides of my head, and I feel it like in the back of my eyes. So I've been in a lot of pain lately, and it's been really hard to just live my life because of the pain that I've been getting from my eyes. Then, to top that off, I got in a fender bender. I actually hit somebody on accident. I didn't hit them on purpose, of course, but I accidentally bumped into somebody. So that added to my stress of last week. So I do apologize for not posting a video last week. I've just been in pain, and all this insurance stuff has been a pain. And so I'm so sorry. I do apologize for not posting a video, but here we are, episode 17, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so I wanted to do a small tour of my craft room to give you all an idea of how I get into my crow vibe, of the things that I see and how I see it. And I know everybody's craft room is different, but I wanted to kind of give you just a little insight, a little input into my life. So I didn't do my makeup, and I didn't do my hair, and I didn't dress all fancy, because this is my everyday life, guys. School's coming up, so I send my daughter off to school, and it's just basically me and my son. A lot of times we don't leave the house. I'm more of a stay-at-home person because, one, I'm kind of scared. The world is getting kind of ugly, and two, my son likes to just like, boom, he'll take off. So I kind of stay at home so he can play. We'll play outside, or we'll do things like that. So I wanted to give you a little insight into my life, and this is the real me. This is how I dress almost on a day-to-day basis unless I go out. This is how I crochet. I crochet in these clothes. So this bookshelf, if I can't remember what episode it was. I'm sorry, it's not a bookshelf, yarn shelf. I had showed y'all, it was 2 Mother's Days ago, that my husband handmade these yarn shelves for me because I actually had my yarn piled on, like in baskets in a corner, and the pile was getting very high. And actually, now that I think back, I only had like this and this filled up. So it was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubbies filled up of yarn. And now 2 years later, almost all of it is filled up. I had to take these 2 or 3 skeins of yarn because I'm actually using them in a project in the Sarah Satch Grantastic. So when she puts out a new granny square, I take them down and then I put them back when I'm done. So a lot of people say, well, how do you organize your yarn? And as you can see, I don't organize any of my yarn. I have it all in here of projects that I want to do. So like this is supposed to be a blanket that I was going to make for my bed, my actual, like a bedspread kind of blanket. This is supposed to be a sweater. This is going to be for my Jaden Stitches calendar blanket 2017. This is supposed to be shawl. I don't know what this is for. Sometimes I just buy yarn just because I like it. So I'm not the only one who does that. I know I'm not. I know a lot of y'all out there are like, ooh, yarn, just it's pretty. It's not organized by color, by weight. This is all pretty much a 4. I have a lot of worsted weight. This is supposed to be a sweater. This is supposed to be a sweater, another sweater, another sweater. This is leftover yarn from a sweater. This is a sweater. There's just a lot of cardigans. This is the only box that I actually have that's kind of organized. This is like, not fancy yarn, but just different. It feels different. So, for example, I have this Lion Brand yarn. It's called Blue Lagoon, and it's the landscapes, and it's so pretty, so rich in color. The blues are beautiful, and I have done nothing with it, and I probably won't. I'm not gonna lie, but as you can tell, my yarn is kind of just there. I have no intention of organizing it just because I already know where everything's at. I already know in my mind. I see it in my mind's eye when I sleep, so I can say like, oh, I already have that color. Okay, I don't need to buy that. So it's organized, but it's organized in here. This is the only part of my life where I don't have OCD, just because this is my happy place, and I don't bring my OCD into my happy place. These skeins of yarn I've showed y'all already on one episode, and I have no intention on using them right now, actually. So they'll probably just hang there for another few more years. This is all cotton in here. Scrubby yarn. Yeah. There is no organization here, honey. It's lucky that it's up on the wall. I do have, it's a little dusty, sorry. I do have this, oh, it's really dusty. Oh my goodness. This is actually, you can put like cotton yarn on here. This is super handy. I don't even know what it's called. Yarn Valet is what it's called. And it's very super handy. I used to use it a lot, and then I stopped working with cotton because it's hard to use it on just a normal skein of yarn. So you can actually pull and it turns. It's got a place for your stitch markers, and it has like a ruler down here for your gauge. And it's super handy. I love it. I think I paid like 15 bucks for it. I bought it on Amazon, so I will put a link in the description just in case you're interested in purchasing one for yourself. I'm not that organized, but I'm a little bit organized. So I have, it's super dusty. I'm so sorry. I don't clean up there. I have this box just for my appliques that I make, or just random granny squares. Sometimes I'll see a granny square and I'm like, oh, I really like that. And I'll just make one just to like get it out of my system. I don't know if anybody else does that, but if you do, comment down below and let me know so I know I'm not the only crazy one. This is the very first granny square I ever made. And of course it's in purple, but I made 3 and that was it. Just got it in my system. I made this little flower applique a long time ago. Another flower applique. Roses. How pretty. And then these rose granny squares. I was going to make a bag for myself, and that went out the window. And then I made just this little, what do you call that? Skull applique for Halloween. I'm going to put it on a pin so I can wear it for Halloween. So I have that up there so that I can put that up there and forget about it and never work on it again, because I have so much going on in my mind until I'm laying there and I'm like, oh, I got to finish that bag, those granny square bags, and so much. Okay, so if we look down here on the bottom, I also have more crochet. So this is my temperature blanket that I'm working on. I have my Jada & Stitches blanket that I'm very behind on. I have some, I'll make blankets and I'll accidentally make like extra granny squares. Like this is a granny square that I messed up on. Those are extra granny squares. This is one that I started and I just didn't finish it for some reason. I don't know. And that's there. These are all my Sarah Satch granny squares that I'm not done with, but I'm almost done with August. This is my temperature blanket that I'm so far behind on. And this little basket right here. So I have this basket because this is like the yarn hospital. If something that I have made, it breaks or somebody tears it or rips it or does something, I put it in here so that I know I have to work on it. So I made this hat for my daughter, and the dog ripped the pom-pom off of her hat. So I have to just sew that back on there before winter. So that'll probably never get done. And then I have these little baby dresses that I started working on, and I ran out of yarn. So I have to go back. And I was like, oh, I have more yarn of this other color. And I started and I ran out of yarn again. So now I really have to go to the store, Junior. I'm telling my husband I have to go to the store to get more yarn. So this is just my basket that I have that I put all my unfinished work that either I ran out of yarn or I ran out of material for it. And it reminds me, hello, Chris, go get more of this material. And that's pretty much it on this. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I also have these baskets hanging on the side of dusty yarn. And these are just like, I guess it's like my scrap box. So I have two. I use a lot of these scraps for amigurumis. I have these like lace weight yarns. Oops. And it's all tangled up. I don't know. And then I have like, this is size 3 Lion brand. I've got little baby booties that I've tested. I've got so much stuff in here, but it's just like scrap yarn that I have in here. This is more scrap yarn. That's not very organized. Oh, I've been looking for this everywhere. This is my measuring tape. I paid $6 for this measuring tape. This is expensive, but look how pretty it is. So vintage. I have literally been looking for this everywhere because this one was my favorite and I lost it. So just scrap yarns in here, and I kind of just throw everything in here just because I don't want to deal with it, and I just have it's organized. It's organized, and I have like these. I don't know. So this shelf was just made this Mother's Day by my husband, of course. And I actually only had like 1 or 2 things, 2 little cubbies filled of yarn. And now it's kind of more filled out, right? It looks a little bit more full. These are just, I always keep my yarn ball winder here because my kids like to play with it. They like to like roll it, and I'm afraid they're gonna break it. Yeah, so I keep it like high above so that nobody can touch it so that it doesn't get broken. And I just throw all my balls of yarn, my cakes of yarn up here. I keep my amigurumis that I've made just so that it makes me happy to look at them, and they make me smile, and just to liven up the room a little bit, the craft room, just to give it a little bit more, you know. So I also have my clovies in here. These are very organized. Not really. So I just threw them in here, and I have extra clovers just in case I lose one. Oh, God forbid I lose one. Just in case I lose one or I leave one in the car and I don't want to go back out to the car to go get it. You know, this basket is full of miscellaneous things. And it's all crochet related, right? So I have blocking boards. Y'all know about my blocking boards. And crochet related miscellaneous things. Let me tell you what I have in here. So I have like tassel makers. I have pom-pom makers. I have, when you make amigurumis, let me show you. Sometimes they don't bend. So I put pipe cleaners. I just wound 2 pipe cleaners together, stuck it in there and cut them. And that way your crochet stays in shape. So I did that. I have a few just little flowers just in case I want to crochet a headband or put them on a dress. I've got scrubbies so that I could make crochet around the scrubby. Of course, I have eyes. Lots of amigurumi little eyes. I have stitch markers. I have buttons. I have polymer clay. I have, what do you call these? Project labels. I have tons of project labels. What is this? Oh, I've got, what is this? The stitch counts, another crochet hook. I've got Tunisian crochet hooks. I've got another crochet hook there, another crochet hook in here. I've got gauges. I've got everything. And so in my miscellaneous basket, I always like to keep a few things stocked. I always keep all kinds of buttons, not just regular round buttons, but like accessorized buttons. And by that, I mean, if I can find it in here. So I keep, this is like regular buttons, and they're all different sizes. They're all different colors. And then those are just your average buttons. And then I keep some of these buttons in here, and they're different colors, they're different sizes, and they're not just regular buttons. They're more beads, just to add a little bit of pizzazz in them. These are $2 for 50 pieces. This was $1. I don't even know how many are in here. I got this at the Dollar Tree. I always like to keep these little accessories. You can always, if you're going to a birthday party and you kind of didn't have time, what I do is I like to give like $10, and then I'll crochet a rose and I'll sew it on here or glue it on here, and you have a snap little hair accessory. I also like to keep, I'm back. I also like to keep little tags, these little gift tags. Like I had showed y'all the other ones. When you're done with the gift, it's always nice to kind of not be so forward about like this is handmade. So these tags kind of give it a little bit of like, it is handmade, but I'm not trying to show off about it. You know what I mean? So it's like these tags, it says handmade by Christyn, especially for Cadence. And this says, they have some that says, this took forever, or you better wear this, or return policy, no returns. But on the back, it says the size, the fiber, and how to take care of your project. So I really like these because I do give away a lot of my projects, and people text me or call me a few weeks later and they're like, how do I wash this? What do I do? And you can always just add a little bit of care instructions in there. Also, you can never be without glue. So I have these two glues. This one's a little bit more expensive and this one's a little bit more affordable. It is Aleene's Tacky Glue. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And then I have Fabri-Tac. This little one I think was about $5, and this big huge one was like $4. They pretty much work the same. I glue my ends down on some projects, not all of them, only some. For example, if I know the person is a little bit more rough and they might wear it a lot more or use it a lot more, and my ends kind of will pop off, I kind of glue it down, but I don't use a lot of glue. I glue it. I'll like put a little dab of glue. I'll put my end down and I'll kind of like spread the glue around because it will dry hard. And if it's a hat or a sweater, you don't want them to scratch themselves. So the glue is always good. And I always love these yarn bobbins, especially if you're working on a corner to corner and you're using multiple colors of yarn. These are always so helpful. They're like $3 at Hobby Lobby. So I always try to keep my miscellaneous box stacked up pretty good with everything that I might need, just in case. Always keep a lot of pins because you don't know when you need to block something. I also have my handy dandy, I don't know, what did you call this? Brother, what would you call this? Like my leftover hooks, I guess? I don't know. So I just have a bunch of random little hooks that people give me. My grandma gave me this hook, and it's just a regular 5.5 millimeter. I've got scissors, I've got huge hooks, I've got hooks that I've made. I've got all kinds of stuff, just different things in here. Just for a real quick grab, and we're gonna go. Like, we're grabbing it and we're going. So I always like to keep this up here. I don't know, it just adds a little something to the room, I think. So moving on to my last cubby. I have not filled this one up all the way, but nonetheless, it's getting there. I have lots of yarn that are looking to be projects. This is my temperature blanket stash. I have all my yarn for my temperature blanket. Some yarn stacked up there, specialty yarns right here. Projects that I just keep here. And in this basket, I have all my crochet hooks. So these are the very first set of crochet hooks that I started with. I have that. I have my miscellaneous ones that I have in here. I have my bamboos, and these bamboos, I use them more for like baby clothing, like finger weight yarn, smaller yarns. It gives it more of a lacy look, I feel. So nice. These are all my clovies that I am currently using. So those are my clovers. I have Tunisian bamboo hooks. I have, I didn't even know I had these. I have more stuff in here that I didn't know I had. I have my boy hooks, my favies. And then I have my light up hooks. So these are like interchangeable heads. This is my favorite to work with in dark yarn because, you know, it gets really hard to see in dark yarn, and it's not charged, but it lights up 2 different sets. They're very, very, very convenient. I love it. So I just have my hooks in here, and I do have them más o menos organized. But just in case I need a gauge or whatever, I go through to my crochet hook box. And that's pretty much it for my yarn, you guys. I do spend a lot of time in my bedroom because this is like my safe haven. This is where I come to relax, to chill out. When everybody's taking a nap or when everybody's watching a movie and relaxing, I like to spend my time right here. When I do work, when it's time to get to work, editing or writing a pattern or reading a pattern or editing a pattern or helping somebody to test a pattern, I work over here. This is my workspace. Ta-da! My workspace. So, I have no pictures of my son. I don't know why, but I need to get a picture of my son. But I have a school picture of my daughter right here to remind me of my lovely children. I had a picture of both of my kids together, but I don't know where that went. I have a few amigurumis here. I've got Steven. April's in the living room so everybody can see her. I've got my weenie dogs, the one April made me. Crochet roses. I made these for Valentine's Day last year. I've got Cadence and Osito as elves. I don't know if I've shown these on the show. Have I shown them? No, right? We'll show them on a show one day. So I have my trash can, and this is not what you think it's for. So in my trash can, I have yarn scraps because we love to RRR in this house, reduce, reuse, and recycle. We are trying to save the planet one step at a time. Yes, we will one day recover this planet. How? By recycling yarn scraps. I like to use my yarn scraps and I stuff them in my amigurumi. So this amigurumi is like up to here with just yarn. Yeah, it's a lot of scraps. So all of him right here is yarn and the rest of him is polyfill. So I save my yarn scraps and I stuff them into other little amigurumis. It's very important, guys. Reduce, reuse, recycle. So I do spend a lot of my time in here when I work. I have body lotion, erasers, a teacup full of hair accessories, and my computer. So I have a lot of crochet patterns in my hard drive because I collect crochet patterns. I'm a crochet pattern hoarder because you don't know when there's a teacher's birthday or a faculty birthday or your coworker's birthday or somebody's birthday that comes up. You can always go into your collection of crochet patterns and whip one up really fast. Let me see. I have a lot of pens and pencils in here and books. I have I believe I showed this to y'all already. My crochet project journal, my whip journal. And this is, oh, brother, don't look. This is all the things that I have. My brother is filming and I don't want him to look at because I'm doing a lot of Christmas stuff. So this is what I'm trying to get done for Christmas. And the highlighted ones are the things that I need to get done soon. Not like I needed to get done yesterday and I didn't do. Over here, we have a lot of my crochet books. So let me get down. Oh, I don't have too many crochet books, but I know to some people I would, it's for everything. I feel like for yarn, a lot of people would be like, oh, she does not have a lot of yarn, that poor thing. And others would be like, oh my gosh, she's got so much yarn. So I know. I have a lot of magazines. Different magazines that are my favorite crochet magazines that I have little patterns in there. I've got border books and stitch books and, ooh, honey. So it's up to about right here. All of this is all crochet related books. My favorite go-to book, I don't really have one, to be honest. I don't really have one. I really like all of them, to be honest with you. There's really no favorite. But a little tip, I do keep all of my printed patterns from if I bought them or if I got them from Red Heart or if I get them from Yarnspirations. I get them and I put them in these clear plastic paper protectors just so that they're a little bit more protected. You see, because my son ripped into one and he bent them and I was like, ooh, I need to protect this a little bit better. So before using them, I buy paper protectors and I put them in little paper protectors. Just a little fun tip, just so you're not spilling coffee on it or juice, or it's a little bit heavier, a little bit more weighted. And so it's not so vulnerable because paper, it's so papery. Well, you guys, I think that's it. I think that's all of my craft room. I know it wasn't a ton, but it's what I have, and I'm very happy with what I have. I'm very happy that my family always helps me with yarn. They always give me money for yarn, or they give me gift cards for yarn. They're always helping me with my yarn stash, and they're always helping me with new ideas and helping me with the show, and I love it. My whole family is involved in crochet. It's not just me, it's my whole family. So I wanted to thank you everybody for watching this video, and I hope that y'all have an amazing week. I want to encourage y'all to go and show some love to somebody, whether it be a family member or a friend or a stranger. You don't have to always give your money. Give your time, give your inspiration, give your love. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to share a smile. So if you would go somewhere and just share a smile with somebody, it costs nothing. And what you reap, what you get back in return is so lovely. It's so beautiful. So guys, I want to encourage you to go spread some love in the world. Go make a new friend or go reach out to somebody. It's such a wonderful thing to help each other. And never be embarrassed to help somebody in need, and never be embarrassed to ask for help if you are in need. Thank you so much once again for loving and supporting the show. I send you all my love. I send you all my peace, my joy for the week. God bless y'all and y'all have an amazing week.